All right. So we are live on a very exciting broadcast today for the PowerPlay Ask Me Anything PowerPlay AMA. So I'm sure you guys know me, Michael from Breakout, but today is not about me or Breakout. Today is about the PowerPlay project and how excited we are about this superb use of blockchain technology. And we are very blessed to have Aaron Hilton, the CEO of PowerPlay, with us today. So, Aaron, why don't you even just start by firstly, welcome and introducing yourself a little bit and maybe even a little bit about your background before we start jumping into the questions.
Yeah, okay, terrific. Thanks, Michael. I'm happy to be here and speaking with you guys. My background, I've been in the renewable energy sector for over 11 years. I've seen, a lot of disruption in the energy space. It's actually got quite a few similarities with the blockchain space, but maybe we can talk about that later. During that time, it has grown a lot. The technology is really advanced. The government's legislation has kind of ebbed and flowed to positive and negative around renewable energy, and we've kind of weathered all that, and the technology is just going from strength to strength, and to the point now where the market is very matured, and you've got the big traditional fossil fuel companies actually trying to buy in because they see the writings on the wall. Love the sector. Renewable energy is it's got so much to offer, and it's just considerably cheaper than fossil fuel energy production. So it's a very exciting space to be working in, and that's what's brought us here today.
Yeah, and it's ripe for disruption, I think, as well. So on that note, let's jump into it. So can you just explain in layman's terms, I suppose, what is PowerPlay and what is the actual problem that you are trying to solve?
Okay. Well, there's two problems that are the pretty big problems within energy transition that we're solving. The first is kind of like more of a personal one, and that's more about the social aspect of our project. So in working in residential solar, so I did residential solar early on in the piece, and then I trained a residential solar team as part of my role. And so I'm very close to that space and understand it. And, I just saw over a very long period that a big sector of the community is missing out. That's people in apartments, people that are renting, people with unsuitable homes. They're just missing out on the benefit of investing in renewable energy, investing in solar panels. Like the market that can get solar panels is almost at a saturation point now, with a lot of the new installations that are happening are actually taking off old or broken systems and putting new ones on, or bigger systems on. So that while one segment of the market has rapidly evolved, a whole nother component of the market has missed out. And so our project seeks to share the benefits of the cheap renewable energy that's in the grid with an ownership model. Similar to if you own solar panels, we know that if people invest in solar, they'll try and optimize their usage to get the maximum benefit from the panels that they've invested in. With our project, we believe that we can offer the same kind of outcome, whereas we offer tokens, which give people access to the profit that we generate from using more renewable energy. So that's one component. And what that means is we can offer these power bill discounts to people through the profit share model. The other aspect of what we're doing is, it's more of a technical component, but essentially we're going through energy transition. When it was all coal, you just pump the coal in and you just have this steady production. Now with renewables, they're intermittent. So during the day, you've got this big solar power curve, and then the sun goes down and there's nothing of solar unless you've stored it. And so what happens is during the day when solar is pumping, it's flooding the market with cheap energy, and it's orders of magnitude cheaper. Like it can be 5, 6, 7 times cheaper on average from the middle of the day for a wholesale kilowatt hour to the, say, 6 p.m. Cost. And so the problem that the market, the energy transition is causing is this big mismatch. And you've got a lot of people getting home from work, switching everything on. They've got really no understanding that, hey, this is mostly fossil fuels and there's no real incentive for them to try and shift some of their discretionary usage to the daytime. And so it's causing these big spikes in the evening when it's all fossil fuels and there's a limited amount of supplies in the market, so they can kind of control the price very well. And so that was kind of really is what led to a bit of an energy crisis. The other component of the energy crisis is the people that had all the fossil fuel wanted to sell it overseas because it was worth more rather than pumping into our own generators for Australians. So but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, we're addressing a major problem with energy transition. Now, obviously with solar production, you can store it in a battery, but it's very expensive per kilowatt hour to get a battery. Batteries are expensive, and they'll probably remain that way given the massive demand that's coming down the pipe. So every kilowatt hour we can shift from the evening to the middle of the day is 1 kilowatt hour we don't need to store, and there's a massive opportunity there to avoid cost. And as an energy retailer, which is what we aim to be, it'll make us more profit. And so our model is to share that increased profit with the community that's generating from optimizing their energy usage. And what enables us to do that is the blockchain, the safe and secure nature of the blockchain technology.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just correct me if I'm wrong, but you created a way that people can actually just measure their electricity, right? They can actually see what they're using per day. Is that part of the innovation as well?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the components of understanding your energy usage that I think a lot of people just don't have, and it's in 2022, I think it's kind of strange that the average user can't see how much energy they're using when they're using it. And that's a really important component for engagement. But the other component is the reason to care. Like apathy is, my power bill. Normally, if I don't have any ownership and it's all pretty much the same in terms of my billing tariffs, like what do I care? I'm just busy and I'll just use energy as I need. By offering ownership, so, the benefit of accessing the profit to deliver bill discounts, and then, giving them a way they can track and see their usage, and so understand what they're using and when. That's part of us kind of bringing together. And, this is what we're bringing to the market as the first Web3 energy retailer on the planet.
Yeah, awesome. I love that as a marketing spin, mate. So next question. So how does it actually work? So like, how does the end customer save money on their electricity bill, and how much on average can they save?
Okay, so how it works is we incentivize usage with a gamified model. Like we want energy to be fun and engaging. And the way we do that is if you're using energy during the day when the wholesale price is low, you'll be earning tokens. And then if you're using energy in the evening, you'll be earning roaming tokens. And if you're using energy in the evening and the price is high, which the market price is high, which we'll show in the app, you'll be losing tokens. And the idea is to try and optimize usage to end up on a positive balance of tokens. Now, at the end of the month, you can claim them. And if you want, you could, sell them into the market. You can swap for Bitcoin, ETH, whatever, or you can hang on to them and stake them. Okay, so that's one component of what we're doing. The other thing that we're doing is as you're optimizing your usage and looking for ways to shift discretionary usage. And mind you, all of our modeling is based on an average user profile. So as long as you're kind of average, you're going to be doing okay. As long as you're just not like there's some users that probably won't benefit, but they're going to have a very expensive energy usage profile. They're probably about 5 to 7% of people that use energy in a really bad way, so they won't benefit. So 90% of people can benefit. And so as we're using energy, we're actually generating profit, and that goes into like a pool. And at the end of the month, that pool is then proportion to the REMI holders, and we pay that out as bill discounts. So if we had $1,000 in there, and there was 1,000 REMI tokens staked in the bill buster, then each person who had one REMI token in there would get $1. So there's obviously going to be more REMI tokens. There's going to be more bonus in there, but that's the basic logic. It's proportionate to how many REMI tokens are staked in the power bill discount to how much of the bonus pool you can access. And the reason we've done it that way is so it rewards loyalty and customers staying with us and building up a bigger balance of tokens.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, so I got a saying that you can't manage what you don't measure. right? And it's something that I often use in business. It's like, well, if we're not tracking KPIs or performance, how can we actually improve it, right? So how, I'm just wondering, the like tracking, what energy you're using during the day and what energy you're using at night. I can see, like, if we could track it almost on a, like, how real time is it? Because if it was, at the moment, like, you might turn off some lights or turn off computers or whatever, and you have no idea if that's making a difference because your energy usage comes in 3 months time or whatever, and you have no idea. So what's that
it's not useful to you if you're not getting that in near real time. That information is not useful except for the retailer who gets to send you a bill. This is the thing, like, that's your data, but you're getting it a month late. It's 2022. We can, we've got telescopes that can see the end of the universe, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't even see what energy you're using in your own house. It just seems absurd to me. So we're going to provide that data, and how it's going to work is the market that's in the wholesale energy market, it's divided into 5-minute intervals. And so it's just gone 5:11 here in Queensland. You would be able to see 5:05 to 5:10 energy usage. You would see what the spot price, what the wholesale market price was in that time, how much renewable energy is in the grid. You would see how many tokens you'd earned and how much the bonus pool had grown in that period as well.
Yeah, awesome. And so you'd be able to see, like, would you be able to track, like, how many REMI tokens you're earning, like, per hour or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all displayed. The idea is that, you accumulate this balance over the month, and then, you build it up. But then as well, the other thing we're trying to do as a retailer, we do go through some lean times. There's periods when the market is really volatile. It's really tough. And, one of the things we're seeking to do is align the interests of us as a retailer and the consumer. And that's why we've come up with this profit share model. When times are good for us, that's going to be good for our customers. When times are tough for us, it's not going to be as good for the customer. Hopefully the community can work with us on that. And that's going to be part of how we work together to both be better off.
Yeah, love it. And it's obviously better. This is better for the environment as well, right? If we can optimize our energy usage more towards during the day and use the energy that's available from solar, ultimately that means less fossil fuels. Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. This is demand optimization, which is essentially what we're talking about here. It's a big component of energy transition, but it's been hard for anyone to actually get great and sustainable engagement in it. At the moment, you've got, like, the big three. They have these kind of demand management schemes, but they own all the fossil fuel generation. So I'd argue that their incentives, they're not that interested in it, right? Because they're profiting from the fossil fuel generation that they have.
Yeah.
Whereas with our model, our interests are very aligned. And by incentivizing that usage of renewable energy during the day, there's a lot of emissions avoided. So it's not just emissions offset, it's actually avoided emissions. And the numbers that we've calculated for Queensland, for an example, for the average user that engages with our platform, there's potential to save 1.8 tons per year per home. And that's really adds up pretty quickly.
Yeah, that is substantial. So you touched on this already a little bit about the token, but I might ask anyway in case there's anything else. So, what is the token utility for the REMI token, and are the tokenomics designed to actually drive price up over time or not?
For sure. So the big thing that I know from my background in the renewable energy sector, and we know from just the market, is in Australia, about $7 billion are invested in renewable energy each year. 3.2 billion is in the residential market. So that's mums and dads, that's, you and me, everyday people investing in an energy asset to obviously reduce their power bill and to do something for the environment. We're offering that same utility with a token. Now, we're not going to be able to offer the same kind of yield that solar panels can. They're a ridiculously good investment, but some months will be good and some months will be a bit leaner. But we're offering a similar functionality. So with the token, you can get the benefit of the profit, which we give you back in the form of a discount.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of, like, the issuance schedule or, like, the supply, like, have you guys kind of nutted that out? Like, how would you expect, like, will more demand drive the price up of the token, I suppose is what I'm getting at?
For sure. Well, look, we've not really raised in the traditional cryptocurrency way. So the way we've raised is actually by selling equity. We have sold some tokens, but it's only a really small portion of our total supply. There's about 9% out there that we've sold to investors, and there's maybe another 5% that we'll give away. The rest of the balance is actually within the project. So we've apportioned it's like 11 to or almost 12% to the team. So that's us, building it. There's 30% put aside for energy projects, and that's another interesting component where we would sell a small amount of tokens. Let's say the price goes up $1, we might sell, say, 10 cents into it, raise money to actually seed energy projects that make us more profitable. So we would have our own generation, which means we don't have to buy it from someone else. We've got 20% apportioned for the game, and the only way those tokens can ever be accessed is by people using energy. But really, as we grow, and we believe there's a lot of growth potential given so many people are crypto enthusiasts, are concerned about power bills and the environment. So we think we've got really good market fit in that sense. As people come on, I believe there are definitely going to be people that, rather than wait to accumulate the token, they'll look to buy and invest to get access to more of the profit share.
Okay, but in general, if they don't want to buy the token, the game is optimize your electricity usage, earn the token, stake it, and then get a further discount on your bill. That's essentially the main utility.
There's a very strong incentive to hold. And, it will have limits. Like you're not going to be able to just keep earning past your kind of power bill offset. So there are limits to it. But everyone has a power bill. 99% of people want a smaller one. So there's a very good reason to hang on to the tokens to which will yield that power bill discount from the bonus pool.
Yeah, absolutely. And at Breakout, we're starting to go a little bit more into like money management, which includes expense management. So, if there are ways that people can actually, firstly, know what their expenses are, and especially if you can track it in real time, then you can measure in real time, you can improve it in real time, and then reduce them. Then every dollar adds up, right? And the way we kind of joke about it is, well, if it's $1 less on your bills, then that's $1 more you can invest, to grow your wealth. So, why not?
100%. And we're seeking, at the moment, energy is kind of a negative experience for anyone that doesn't have solar. Really, it's just, the bill comes, you pay it and try not to think about it anymore. Like you said before, the data of your energy usage comes so far removed from when you're actually using it, it's kind of meaningless. And there's just one line, we're seeking to change that entire experience and, essentially using energy is an opportunity. It can be a fun experience. It can be an opportunity to engage with the community and, something that they can build up over time, which actually becomes an asset that can give them, significant bill relief.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, next one. What are the timelines around going live? And is there a way that our community can actually be a part of maybe the early stage testing or pre-release?
For sure. So we've got a closed beta operating at the moment. So we've achieved proof of concept. We know we can do this. It's all working. What we're doing now is we're raising to acquire an energy retailer. It's actually a very good time to buy a retailer because the energy crisis we've just gone through. There's actually quite a number of them that are looking to exit. With our innovative model, we think we can actually procure a retailer at a good price and enter the market July 2023 when prices have actually settled down quite a bit. Then depending on how the acquisition goes, if we can have everything sorted Q2, we would be looking in Q2 to do an open beta. So people that get involved in the open beta, they join the wait list. They'll get early access, and as initial community members, we'll seek to kind of reward them a bit more as our OGs with different kind of token incentives and whatnot. And so I'd recommend if people do like the idea, then they can go and kind of sign up to the wait list. We're only taking people that don't have solar or battery at the moment, so that's just people that don't have those things. In time, we'll actually open up to those, but at the moment, we're just core seeking on looking for people that don't have solar as our core audience, and then we'll be bolting in solar and solar battery customers and we'll have a little ecosystem where everyone can kind of trade their energy a bit. But that's kind of what a qualified customer is for us at the moment. Is just someone that doesn't have any renewable energy, because we can help them the most. But yeah, provided they qualify and they're in areas we cover, which is Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia. I should just clarify, it's more Southeast Queensland. North Queensland is still kind of regulated market. So yeah, provided they're in that space, they can join the waitlist, and we'll seek to get them in the open beta once we've got that ready to go.
Okay, what's the limitations for you to go to other states?
Some states have they're not deregulated. So in Sydney, here in Brisbane, we can choose what retailer we want to go with. Whereas someone in Townsville, they're kind of with Ergon, and that's it.
Got it.
So we can't really, whilst we have the opportunity to maybe work with those entities, because our demand management incentive model does work, you can pick it up and put it elsewhere, because universally renewable energy is cheaper during the day. Then yeah, we can move it, but we've just obviously got to pick a beachhead, and that's the beachhead that we've chosen.
Yeah, got it. Makes sense. And the exciting thing about this one, and some of our members will know that very rarely do we get opportunities to actually invest into the company itself. Normally it's like we get a chance to buy the token, and maybe we get a lower price or a bonus or something like that. So I guess, this is more than just being able to save money on electricity. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, as the world's first Web3 energy retailer, I think we're bringing something to a market that's stale. I think we have the potential to be very disruptive. There are other demand management models out there, but I don't think any of them truly align the interests of the retailer and the consumer so well, and align them around such a good cause, which is using more renewable energy. So I think we've got, and as well, because of the energy crisis, there's a lot less competition in the market. There's some people are saying up to 20 retailers may leave the space. So we're going to be entering a market that's pretty stale. There's not much choice, with a genuine profit share model that's going to be transparent and secure. So I think it is a good opportunity for smaller investors to invest and be part of the project and our success. And at the moment, we've got a crowd fund going with Venture Crowd that's open to members of the public.
Yeah, awesome. Just briefly talk me through that, and then I'm going to put some links up.
Yeah, okay. So Venture Crowd are a crowdfunding organization. They're a bit more friendly to Web3, so they were quite supportive of our concept, and so we opted to go with them. Look, I will say, though, the crowdfund hasn't gone as well as we would have liked. I think the Venture Crowd audience is traditionally more property, and I'm not sure they really understood Web3 and crypto as an opportunity. We've still got a lot to do in kind of communicating to the normies, so to speak. And when we did first go to the Venture Crowd crowdfund, we were considering just partnering with energy retailers, which it's not as clean a model as us becoming a retailer, purchasing and acquiring a retailer and just going to market as a retailer ourselves. I think it's I don't think that the community kind of received it that well, unfortunately. But that said, it's been a good kind of correction for us as a startup. You need to be agile. And based off the validation we got from the community at the cryptocurrency convention and the feedback we've had from VC firms and big investors, we think the pivot to becoming a full retailer is far more interesting. It gives us a far more valuable proposition in terms of we'll have customers that we can work with. We don't have to answer to any other retailers, and all the profit we generate is ours and ours to share with the community. We don't have to share it with another more traditional kind of retailer that we have to negotiate with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to chuck the links up in a sec. And as you guys know, at Breakout, we always like to try and negotiate a deal for you guys and make sure we get something special. So we have done that here with with Aaron and with PowerPlay. So on top of the crowdfund investment that you make, and just to clarify, that is an investment in the company, right? So it's a very rare opportunity that we get to invest in the company. You're also going to get 10% of your investment amount in the REMI token. So you're going to get a kickstart of those REMI tokens and be able to, stake those when it's ready to be staked to get a discount on your bill. So it's a great opportunity, to get a kickstart and not have to buy as many tokens off the market to stake. So I think it's an awesome opportunity. I'm super excited about investing in this one myself. So what I'm going to do, because we do have some questions coming through, I'm just going to put the links up on the screen. So just put the PowerPlay website, and then there's a link to basically the expression of interest to invest. So that's breakoutnow.co/PowerPlay and then breakoutnow.co PowerPlay bonus. If you are investing, you want to fill out that second form, which is a bonus for Breakout to track your submission, basically. So we know we can link up that your investment into PowerPlay actually came through us. I'm also going to put it in the comments. I'm just going to put it as one and just see if it comes through properly. It might be limited by characters. It did look like it went through okay there. It might just post them as individual links, because I can see the dash might be playing a bit of havoc with it. So I'll just post it as individual. Actually, what I'll do, I might bring up the first question and then I'll work this one out. So let's there's one question that's been sent live, and there was one pre-approved one, a pre-asked one. So I might ask that first. The question was, Power Ledger was something that came out in Australia a few years ago. So what would be the difference between this project and Power Ledger?
Yeah, sure. Look, Power Ledger is a great project. They were early movers in the energy space. Their project is quite different than what we're doing, though. Their model seeks to provide a way for energy generators to trade across a small embedded network. So when I say embedded network, it's like a small grid right at the fringe of the actual wider grid. So it's hard for them to be able to trade across the main grid that most of us sit on, but they can trade across a community-owned network. So if you're in a little town that wasn't connected to the wider grid, that's where it works well. Or in an embedded network with maybe say a closed community, people could trade their solar energy across the grid. And look, it's great tech. I have spoken to them when I was in solar and looked to try and get some support to those guys. Our models is different, though. It's more of a mass market play. We can help a lot of people benefit from renewable energy just by our profit share model.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I'm just going to pop up the next question. So this is from, actually, I can probably put up on the screen. Let's just do that. Is it possible to have a negative balance if, say, I'm a night person due to my work? Good question.
It is a good question. Look, we don't want people having a negative experience. How we've geared it is if you end the month, and it is possible to end the month on a negative balance. There'll be times when the energy market is really tough, or there'll be some people who just have a really bad usage month and they can't really optimize much. But how it works in that case is it just gets zeroed out. So if you end on a negative, you just don't get to claim any REMI tokens for that month. It doesn't increase your bill. We don't call back any tokens. You would still have your existing REMI tokens that you earned perhaps in previous months that you can stake and access the bonus pool. You just wouldn't win any that month. And again, that's kind of part of aligning it. If you're having a tough month and you're not getting many tokens, we're probably having a pretty tough month too.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just share the screen just to make sure I've got these links right, and maybe we can correct that if it's not. Okay, so this should pop up on the screen now. So if I go to I just want to make sure I got the link right. So if I go to the EOI link, it takes me to this page. Is this the right place to start?
Yes.
Okay. So do I use this and click invest now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm just checking where this goes to this next form. So I assume when it goes to here, we go through and we register.
Yeah, they'll need to onboard you, like as part of their kind of, their offering is to kind of qualify what type of investor you are. And depending on what you're looking to invest, that's how they kind of organize the different types of investors. And so their job is to kind of aggregate everyone in a compliant and by the book kind of manner.
Yeah, got it. So we fill this form in, we submit it, and then I assume it takes you through the process from there.
Correct.
And then the second link, this is just one of our forms, guys. So first name, last name, email, phone, and if you know the amount you're going to invest, this is just going to allow us to track that, you've made an investment through the Breakout community, so we can get you your 10% token bonus to process that later. So please, if you are investing, please make sure you use both forms or go through both processes. Otherwise, it might be a bit hard later to identify that you invested and you came through the Breakout community. All right.
Yeah, this is a unique
go on.
to your community. So
yeah,
it's definitely in their interest to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, who doesn't want a 10% bonus in tokens? So yeah, definitely want to do that. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share. So guys, if you do have any other questions, now is a great time to send it through. I did want this one to be short and sweet. There are some additional materials. Do you publicly list those, Aaron, or should we just share those with our community, the pitch deck and the white paper?
That's fine. The white paper's on the website. The pitch deck is, you can share that with the community. That's fine.
Okay, no worries. So let me just see if I've got a banner here for joining. If you're not in our Slack community, guys, I really, really recommend that you do join. It is free. So decryptingcrypto.com. If you're not an existing paid client with us, jump on, register for that. It's got a fantastic short course and some excellent resources on how to get you started investing in crypto. And then pretty much, I think on the next page or in the portal, it'll give you a link to join our Slack community. We'll have the replay up there. We'll be able to watch this replay on YouTube, but we'll have the extra resources there. And it's just a really good community to be in if you are trying to succeed investing in crypto. So jump on, take advantage of that, and we'll see you in that community. Is there anything, like we tried to make this short and sweet for you guys, and so we had some pretty pointed questions, but maybe for you, Aaron, is there anything else that you'd like to add on that maybe we haven't uncovered yet?
Look, no, I think that's been, I think we've covered a fair bit of ground there. There is quite a, there's a bit of technical alignment here. Like what we can do with the meters is really interesting. Like the vision there is that with their handset, people will be able to turn their hot water, optimize their AC, control their car charging with an app, controlled by a smart meter. So what that means is by doing it with the smart meter, we don't need to use the customer's internet, so it's kind of just easier for everyone. And it's actually quite a cheap install process. We don't need an aftermarket secondary meter. So there's a big bunch of technology that we can deploy there, which is really exciting, that we didn't really get into. But yeah, and the energy projects component, that's really exciting as well. We'll be able to give the community access to some of those assets, and it's on the roadmap. There's some really cool stuff that we're going to do there as well.
Do have one more question that's popped in. Who are the other players in this? Is there anyone else doing what you're doing?
As far as I know, we're the only ones with this model.
Yeah. I definitely haven't come across anything, at least not in Australia. So guys, look, for me, the reason why I'm so excited about this, I mean, who doesn't want to reduce their expenses? We talked about that, and being able to actually get feedback, every 5 minutes on how much energy you're using. Don't underestimate the power of that, because once you see how much energy you're using and you're getting that feedback by actually turning things off like lights and stuff like that, you're going to be able to reduce your bill just purely from that benefit alone. And if you are able to optimize your energy such that you're using a little bit more during the day and you're earning a token from that, and you're seeing that you're actually earning while you're doing that, that's going to further motivate you to try and make some of those changes. So you might not always be able to do that. Again, if you're a night user, but just having that information, I think, is a benefit straight off the bat. And in terms like that's me as a customer, right? I'd use it straight away. The opportunity here as an investor, not just the investor in the token, but to actually own some of the company itself. I think that's just an amazing opportunity. And we've only been able to bring one of those deals previously to our members, which was a share ownership and a token one. It was extremely successful. So I just think jump on this, guys, because I think what Aaron's doing, and he's got a very capable team, and I'm sure you can tell from this limited interview that he really knows his stuff. So I think there's definitely a company going places. I know I'm super excited about it. And thanks for jumping on. And if there's anything else, Aaron,
Thanks
maybe just feel free to let me know. We'll pass any information on to the community. The other thing probably just to say is that there is a time limit on this, isn't there? I saw a countdown timer somewhere.
Yeah. There's only about a week to go.
Okay. Yeah, I got it here. It's 10 days, 5 hours. So you're just over a week. So if you're anything like me, I'm going to jump on and get this out of the way in the next couple of days so I don't forget. But yeah, all good, guys. We'll wrap it up. Conscious of the people for the recording. So thanks very much for your time, Aaron. And we'll speak to you all soon.
Thanks very much for having me. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.